Darren Waller was born in a middle-class neighborhood in Ackworth, Georgia, where at a young age, he showed signs of being a star talent both on the field and in the classroom. This mindset was instilled in him by his parents at a young age.
I feel like I'm intelligent. We've both studied hard, and we've taught them from an early age to, value education. And so they always excelled in school, and then next thing you know, when he gets on the field, a light bulb comes on. He just starts taking off and just destroying people. Even back then, I saw flashes that this kid can be something special.
Even though Darren was a great student and athlete, he had a lot of trouble fitting in amongst his peers.
Good neighborhood, good school system, It was probably rough for me just because, I was friends with a lot of white kids. I was never hesitating as to who I wanted to be around. It just happened to be that way. Black kids I played sports with and went to school with used to just kill me all the time, just like, you're not black enough, you're not this, you're not that. So it was kind of just lost in that world.
Sophomore year, Waller began experimenting with prescription pills that he got from his parents' medicine cabinet, and by junior year, he was smoking marijuana and drinking heavy amounts of alcohol.
But yeah, I started with pills. As soon as I touched it, it just triggered for me. And so I was hooked ever from the first time.
So from your first time, how soon after that were you seeking the next high?
I mean, immediately. Once I started linking up with other people, I could get that high, that feeling while linking up with those people. It was gave me a false definition of, okay, these people are accepting me, this is in the area that I belong in. That was my mindset.
Darren's football and academic talents did not go unnoticed, and in his senior year of high school, he was given a full ride scholarship to play football at Georgia Tech. While his family and him were super excited, this would eventually lead to Waller's downward spiral.
Once I was going into Tech, I felt like I had to take my partying and using to a whole nother level. I'm trying to get with anyone that would want to be around me, and it's any party I could see, which is everywhere. I'm going out 4, 5, 6 nights a week.
You were going out 6 nights a week. There's only 7 days in a week.
Yeah.
Is it fair to say that you play football under the influence of drugs or alcohol?
Yeah.
Darren felt like these drug dealers were family to him because he felt that he had finally found people who he thought liked him for him. When asked about what were his limits, Darren says, quote, "I would do anything you put in front of me." When asked the follow-up question, how bad did it get, Darren replies bluntly, "I didn't get to meth."
How many drug tests did you fail in college?
On record, apparently it's 2, but I would always be trying to cheat drug tests too. I would have a 5-hour energy bottle and cut a hole in the bottom of my girdle, and I could just squeeze it out and make it look like I was peeing, but it was someone else's.
The only people who knew about Darren's problem at this time were some of his teammates, and that was it. Fast forward to the 2015 NFL Draft. Darren is coming into the draft as a highly touted receiver who could possibly go early to mid-second round.
With the 28th pick in the 6th round, number 204, the Baltimore Ravens select Darren Waller, wide receiver from Georgia Tech.
Yeah, Darren Waller's a Raven! Woo! Darren Waller is a Raven!
You guys draft Darren Waller 2015. You had to hear some rumblings about Darren coming out of Georgia Tech, the good and the bad. What went through your mind?
Well, the first thing I did was look at the tape. He's 6'6". He runs 4.42, jumped 40-some inches, and he caught everything they threw to him. My thought is he's going to be a first and second round type guy for sure. It doesn't get to be the 5th or 6th round until they start talking about this Darren Waller from Georgia Tech. And I just got like, hey, oh, I've looked at this guy. This guy is in my top 3 or 4 receivers for the draft. Why are we talking about him down here in the 6th round? Then they went through it. They said it's a character problem. You know, he's got character issues.
For the pre-draft team interviews, Darren was pressed on questions about his drug tests and his drug use in college. Darren says, quote, "I lied my ass off." Darren's drug use in the NFL only worsened. He was late for team meetings and he often overslept. Along with this, he failed 2 more drug tests and was cut from the team, not knowing what his future might hold for him. After hearing the news that he was cut from the team, Darren went straight to his usual drug pickup spot to get his order, but soon realized something was very wrong. Darren had drove to an empty parking lot a few miles from the stadium and proceeded to pop the pills, not knowing that the pills had been unknowingly been laced with fentanyl. After that scary experience, he knew it was time for a change.
Help. You gotta get some help.
Went to McLean boarding cottage in Maine. I had structure for those 30 days I was in rehab, and I was moving, like things were getting done. Progress was being made. That was a game changer.
They dealt with it on a mental aspect as well as the physical and helped him to look at his life and see what got him there.
Along that way, I was feeling all that pain, but I was treating people bad. I wasn't a good friend. I was kind of taking my pain out on the world, and so it wasn't always me being a victim, which I thought I was. I was being the culprit in a lot of things. Just realizing that I have the power to change it. That whole experience was just necessary.
When he came home, believe me, that's when we definitely knew it was all different.
Checking into rehab, Darren became a totally different person. He started working out again and maintained a healthy diet. Still out of the NFL, however, Darren knew he needed an income, so he took a job at a grocery store stocking shelves. After his shifts and on his day off, Waller went straight to the gym to work out or went straight to the field to work on his footwork and catching. Darren Waller was fully determined to make a comeback to the NFL. A couple months later, Waller was called by the NFL front office and they said that his drug suspension was uplifted and he could now sign with an NFL team.
And God's telling you, you got another chance. Now what you gonna do with it, right?
Fake it, Cole whips it, end zone, touchdown! It's handled by Darren Waller.
He was on that Baltimore practice squad, and they were playing the Raiders, and because he was inactive, he didn't have a uniform on, but he was just out there running routes and catching balls. And John Gruden said, "Who is that guy?" By the time they got on the plane to go home, they assigned him to the active roster with the Raiders.
It still hasn't really hit me yet, I guess, but to be able to sign this and really be a part of a team, I don't know, man. I just really can't put it into words. It's crazy.
He should be doing that here in Baltimore. I'm happy for him. And I'm looking forward to when we play him, because he's going to be a challenge. But I'd be dishonest if I told you I wasn't a little disappointed, you know, that he's not here.
Darren Waller was telling me that he often thinks about how far he's come the last 3 years. So when I asked him how much of his success is tied to his sobriety, he said all of it.
People out there are real deal suffering, and their story lines up with mine. I'm just trying to show them that there's something better on the other side of that pain or that suffering. And if I can reach one person, that's good enough for me.